incredibly quick.
All right, I will hit play. On the record.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go ahead and call the meeting of the Development and Planning Committee to order May 8, 2024 at 3:30 p.m. With that, all committee members are present. We certainly appreciate that. That takes us down to agenda item number 3. These are the meeting minutes from April 10th, 2024. Councilman Brown.
Motion has to approve as is.
Motion on the table. Further discussion? Seeing and hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. That takes us to agenda item number 4, public comment. Looks like the only folks that are actually in attendance are actually here for item 5B. So Alex, if you want to come up to the table. Yes. We appreciate it, Mr. Watkins. This is a resolution of appointment for Peter Moorman. I'm assuming you're Peter. Correct. All right. Well, welcome. As a member of the Saginaw Street Corridor Improvement Authority Board of Directors for a term that expired June 30th, 2027. In your meeting materials, you do have the application that Mr. Moorman, I believe, submitted back in March of this year. So it's a relatively new application. Lots of great information. And certainly appreciate the fact that you live just south of the corridor and obviously you have a vested interest in the forward advancement of that corridor. What we're going to do is just open it up very quickly. You can just speak to who you are, maybe some of your experience that kind of uniquely qualifies you for this particular board, your interest in this. I know that you have served the city in other capacities in the past, such as the traffic board and things like that, but specifically to this board. And then what we'll do is we'll open it up for questions and comments from the body, and then we'll consider the appointment. Okay. All right. Go for it.
Sure. So I guess I'm here. It's sort of a combination of interest, being a longtime resident of the corridor. I've been living at residence in Westmoreland since 2001, so 23 years in same residence. So, very familiar with the corridor, travel up and down it all the time. So just, often have certainly an interest in its improvement. It just as a Lansing resident and citizen. So it's the interest intersection. I think hopefully my experience in government and public policy can also just sort of lend, call myself an economic development expert by any means, but familiarity with particularly state government and its interaction with local government and the tools that are available from the state. So I currently work for the Department of Treasury as a legislative liaison and work on a wide range of tax and other issues, a lot of intersection with local governments. So very familiar with the concept of tax income and finance authorities and what they do and their general structure and how they, the goals of such authorities. Prior to Treasury for about 3 years. Prior to that, I worked for the State House of Representatives for 20 years as a policy analyst and advisor. Again, working a variety of issues from tax, transportation, environmental policy. So I think all these things kind of intersect with the things that the Corridor Authority addresses and takes on. Prior to my work here in the state of Michigan with government, I've worked as environmental advocacy nonprofits, some issues in terms of planning and transportation. And so I had broad understanding of sort of how all these things come together. Again, don't consider myself necessarily an expert in any of it, but willing to dig in and learn what the authority's up to and see if I can help.
All right, before I turn it over for questions, Mr. Watkins, do you have anything to add?
No, we're excited to have Mr. Moorman join the Saginaw Street Corridor Improvement Authority. So I'll look forward to you assisting us with some of our endeavors, some of our projects. Is it okay to ask just a quick question? Is that fine?
Of course.
Just out of curiosity, since you're a lifelong resident and been on the corridor for some time, 20 some years, do you have any vision that you would like to help bring to the corridor as far as some improvements that you'd like to see, since that's what their main focus is, to increase economic development?
Well, obviously it's plagued by a lot of vacant structures currently, or rundown structures, whether they're vacant or not, something. So certainly attracting businesses to or other institutions to the corridor to fill in those vacant properties or fill those vacant structures. I know there's been a lot of activity recently on the stretch with the old furniture store, and I know that's been a long time coming with some of the property transitions there. That I know there's some ownership that's taken over some of those properties. So hopefully that's there and redeveloping those. I think certainly any opportunities to improve landscaping and beautification of the corridor certainly would be interested in. I know just from the transportation perspective, I know the bike lane was put in years ago, and kind of a road diet, that sort of thing. I'm certainly supportive of those kind of endeavors to make, there's only so much we can do. I know it's an MDOT road but certainly, it's difficult to scale on the road to make it pedestrian friendly and inviting. But I think there are strategies to try to do that, with landscaping or traffic calming, those sorts of ideas.
Those are right up the corridor's alley, so appreciate that and look forward to your expertise.
And I do think that's key for that corridor. So we talk about traffic calming, all the cliche stuff, right? The walkability, the bikeability, the streetscape, making sure that we make improvements in the public spaces that we can make improvements in. I think you got to make it more inviting. Investment begets more investment. We're seeing some minor investment right on the corridor. I'm hoping that that precipitates some additional investment. But I guess I got a couple questions before I turn it over for you, Mr. Watkins. One, the development district is from where to where?
So it's going to be from what we call the point, which is going to be what we call the point, which is where Oakland and Saginaw meet. And the corridor goes all the way down to Pennsylvania Avenue. So right where we have the intersection where I guess there's going to be some new development here pretty soon, but corridor of Pennsylvania and Saginaw.
The other is, what year are we in right now in terms of tax capture?
Tax capture for that corridor, we just completed our third year of capture, so they're beginning their fourth year capture.
And I should know this. What's in the coffers right now for this particular, with the seed money and everything?
Yep. So we have $100,000 that was ARPA funds that was given to the corridor, which is already been allocated.
Right.
They have their capture, and I'm pulling this from my mind. I want to say right around.
Hold on, back it up. Do you mean that? I know that we allocated those dollars.
Correct.
Are you saying that they now have appropriated, they've actually found use for those dollars?
Correct. Yep.
What's that?
So portion of it is for a marketing plan.
Okay.
Portion of it is and that's to make the CIA's name known and to do events for the community. And they've hired, and that is part of a RFP that's going out for a marketing committee. So we're actually allocating money, $40,000 to RFP for a marketing committee to actually do the marketing for the CIA. Portion of the funds is allocated they want to make the mural mile. So looking at allocating funds to do more murals like we see on the side of Rathburn Agency and we see the side of the former Shinoras to make it which is the attraction now, by the way. Unfortunately, yes, it is now. Yeah, unfortunately. I don't know if they're replacing that, but we would like to see a mural go back up in that area.
You call it the mural mile?
That's what we would like to brand it as. Yeah, and these are things that they've talked about, so that's part of the marketing camp plan. And then the rest of the money is going to be allocated to a special placemaking project that our CEDM fellow, Kalia Washington, is overseeing. That is going to be on Saginaw Street and be something that, I don't want to give too much of it away, but it's going to be like an attraction similar to things that people could take selfies with and really draws attention to downtown Lansing.
So is that kind of the model for all three corridors with the tax capture at this point?
No, that's just a specific program that's Saginaw Street.
Well, and I'm not talking about, I'm just saying, is that kind of the path we're taking with the other two corridors?
As far as?
In terms of our marketing, the branding, the getting the name out, the events.
Somewhat. So Lansing Gateway has not completed their development and finance plan. So they don't have anything in place, but the other three, yes. Yep. yeah. So,
I'm just trying to figure out what to myself.
no. So Michigan Avenue is going to be more of a website.
Right.
And then Saginaw Street is hiring a marketing committee. And then MLK for the south side of town is hiring someone to come in and actually be an admin person to complete the projects on that side of town.
Okay. I'm just happy to hear that we're actually implementing it. With these corridor improvement authorities, one, the power is in the tax capture development.
Correct.
Right? If you don't have that, it's great to talk about the corridor. But then I think the other piece is sometimes the development plan and TIP plan get, they're finalized, then the implementation never occurs.
Correct.
That's unfortunate. So I'm glad to hear that and how some things are moving forward.
And just part of that is the time it takes to build up that capture.
Absolutely. In terms of, well, that's why it was so important to approve the seed money.
Mhm.
In terms of the membership, just so I can report out here, where are we at? Is this?
For this particular CIA?
Yeah.
Nope. So we still have 2 more open vacancies. So this particular CIA has 5 members. We would like Mr. Mormon to be our 6th. We still have 2 more openings on that board. And just for reference, individuals who are living on that corridor or businesses need to be within 500 feet of the center line to qualify. And I believe for businesses, 500 feet. And I believe for residents, it has to be, quarter mile.
Okay, perfect. All right, do we have any questions? Sorry. Yes, Mr. Barlow.
Marketing, could you elaborate a little bit more? I know that you said you're putting $40,000 into a marketing committee. So my layperson understanding marketing is advertising, I guess, value propositions of a business or, a corridor. What exactly would you be marketing, I guess? If, to the gentleman's point, kind of when the corridor starts, there's a lot of blight we're working on. So are you marketing groups to invest? Are you marketing current small businesses? What exactly does that look like for that?
That's a great question. So we have what we're looking for, and then we have what we'll get back from the businesses for RFPs for the proposals. But what we're looking for is really to get the name out for the CIA to, first of all, get membership or people to come to the meeting. So it is an open forum meeting, and we want community input. This is their
Real quick, because we might have people watching, but then also we might want to check, where are those at?
Thank you. So right now for the Saginaw Street Corridor Improvement Authority, it's held at M3 Group, which is located right on the Saginaw Corridor. And those are the 4th Thursday of the month at 3 p.m. And if there are any changes, you can look on the city's website. They usually have the meetings date schedules on the website.
Okay, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
No problem. So marketing is going to be looking at making people aware, first of all, the Corridor Improvement Authority, because they were recently established and we would like to have community input from individuals. Also input what they want to see on their corridor. So you mentioned bike lanes before. If there's any type of landscaping improvement, any type of infrastructure improvement, that may be sidewalks, lighting, business infrastructure. So if businesses are looking to improve their facade, we're looking at programs to help out businesses on that. So just getting the word out about what the CIA can do, what we're here for, and then making sure that the community knows that their input is needed in that decision making. Also, marketing efforts for doing events is something that the corridor can do, so promoting events. And we're really interested in seeing what some of these marketing groups can come back and tell us how they plan to implement some of those ideas.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
No, perfect, no problem. Good question.
I guess I do have a follow-up. When you said facade, are you talking about on top of the current facade improvement program the city already has?
Correct. So one of the things that we see with the facade improvement program is when it's a matching grant. So really what it is a person needs to expend the funds, as a reimbursement grant. So do the improvements and then we reimburse them, which means they need the upfront funding. So sometimes those businesses need assistance. So sometimes we have loan opportunities, but also if they can receive funding from the CIAs, if they're on that corridor, to help assist those businesses with their portion of the grant.
That's great. Yep. Did you have any other questions or comments specifically for Mr. Mormon?
Yeah, I do. Well, I had 2. A vision was one of them, so I appreciate you asking that question. First and foremost, thank you for continuing to serve Lansing. It's much appreciated. Obviously, we don't have enough people throughout our community that wants to serve. But my typical question is, if you get onto this board, which I'm assuming you will, once you start getting information that you would be able to share out to the public, would you be willing to attend potentially like the 1st or the 4th Ward constituent contact meeting and share those exciting news developments as you were?
I'll share, yeah. Great.
Motion, I guess.
All right, There is a motion on the floor for the discussion. I think we all just want to express our sincere appreciation. With that, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So the way that we do this is the next council meeting, which will be May 13th, okay, 7 p.m. Right here in the chamber. Sorry, it will be on the resolutions for action portion of the meeting. If you could make it, we will actually swear you in that night. Clerk will actually take that role. And if not, you can simply contact the clerk the next day and set up a time. So if you know that you can be there on the 13th, you can actually put that on for resolutions for action now. This Monday coming up.
7 p.m.
Yep, 7 p.m.
If you can let me know by noon tomorrow,
Yeah.
that way we can.
I should be able to make it. You can say,
Okay.
Otherwise, we just put it on for consent, but great. All right, do we have anything else from the body? All right, we appreciate everybody being here.
Thank you.
Our adjourned.